All right, sure.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to this live chat with Thong Guan Industries Bhd, Innovation for Sustainable Efficiency webinar brought to you by Kenanga Investment Bank. Today, we are very excited to have the Executive Director of Thong Guan Industries Bhd, Mr. Alvin Ang, to join our sessions so you can understand more about Thong Guan Industries company's background. He will also share with us the business performance for the financial year 2020, the growth prospect going forward, and also the initiative for innovation for sustainable efficiency. So today you're going to learn about company's background, business performance, as well as the future growth plan for Thong Guan Industries Bhd. So as you know, Thong Guan Industries Bhd has been growing their top line and bottom line consistently for the past 10 years. So it's definitely a stock that you should consider putting in your, you can consider and put it in your watch list and to see whether this Thong Guan Industries Bhd is a company that you want to invest in your portfolio. All right. So today we're going to learn more about Thong Guan Industries Bhd. So I want to welcome everyone for joining these sessions brought to you by Kenanga Investment Bank. So before we begin, just want to talk about a disclaimer. So whatever we brought to you for this webinar is only for case studies. So in no way that I give any recommendation to buy or sell any companies that we discuss in this webinar. So in the event that you make any investment decisions, so you do it at your own risk. Is that okay? So without further ado, let me just invite the Executive Director of Thong Guan Industries Bhd to join us for this session. So let me hand over the session to you, Mr. Alvin Ang.
Thank you, Shane. I am trying to share my screen. Do you need to allow me to share screen?
Let me check. All right. I believe you should be able to do so.
All right.
Okay, cool.
All right, great. Okay, all right.
All right, perfect.
Okay, today we are just basically going to introduce our company. We go through some business overview, what we did in the past, some financial highlights, some key takeaways, some innovation, and moving forward, what we are going to do in the next 5 years. Thong Guan Industries Bhd was started by my great-grandfather back in 1942 with a mere capital of 50 ringgit borrowed from his father-in-law. He was working for a tea merchant in Penang. Penang Road was bombed by the Japanese in 1942. He escaped to run away to Sungai Petani to hide away from the war, and having nothing to do, he cycled over 2 days to Simpang Empat, today's Auto City, to borrow $50 from his father-in-law and started his business. So today we are one of the largest producer of plastic packaging in Asia Pacific. We are one of the largest producer of pellet stretch film in the world. We are the largest exporter of garbage bags to the Japanese market, commanding approximately 12% of the total bags consumed in Japan. We have also our manufacturing plants in China and in Thailand as well. The overview of the company, we separate into 3 sections from the initial 1942 to 1997. That's the year of our listing on the old second board of the Kuala Lumpur Stock Exchange. we started as a tea merchant, as you know, and from there, you see the fleet of vans. This is typically in the morning in this pre-war shop house, which was rented, and further down on the left is the manufacturing plant where we were squatters there. We bought that whole piece of land back in the 80s, and we've been expanding non-stop since then. After the war, the baby boomers days, with the ready space on the van, the founder and his sons ventured into trading of plastic products. Thailand was not involved in the war, so we sourced a lot of plastic packaging from Thailand. Initially, it was ropes and strings, raffia string, and also drinking straw. Drinking straw was very popular in the 50s. You remember making flowers and all that, playing with the straws back in the 60s, 70s. And also, at that time, the polypropylene raffia string was replacing jute. You know, those days we don't have plastic bags. We use newspaper to wrap our grains, rice, sugar, even flour, and sugar, rice, and all that. Your daily necessities, and tie it up with a string, if you remember. And with your soy sauce, your beer, and all that, you tie up the top of the bottle, and you've got your 6 packs. From then, we heed the government's call to expand into Sabah in East Malaysia with the integration of Malaysia, and trying to the government's initiative to build up the economy in East Malaysia. We started doing trading, emulate, duplicate whatever we did in Peninsula into Sabah, and from there we started manufacturing plant in Sabah. Today we are the largest producer of plastic packaging in Sabah. In 1997, we were listed on the Old Kuala Lumpur Stock Exchange, and we went into the manufacturing of stretch film as well in 1997. From there, the year 2000, in a short period of 3-4 years, we became the largest producer of stretch film in Southeast Asia, thereafter in Asia. That was a high growth year. From the year 2000 onwards, it was a China story. We started constructing our plant in China in 1999, and from 2000 onwards, from zero, we went to a production of about 2,200 tons in China. Still is there. The year 2000 to 2008 was the China story. It was high growth for us. Thereafter, after the Chinese government changed their stance towards foreign investment, from encouraging labor intensive to discouraging labor intensive and high energy consumption and polluting industry. We are not polluting, but we are consuming quite a bit of energy. When they were planning to host the Olympics in Beijing in 2008. After 2008, we were not really expanding in China anymore. So from there, from 2008 to 2015, we were thinking what to do. Our profit was hovering around the 20 to 30 million mark. And we went into a diversification spree again. The concept that we took in the 70s when we went into manufacturing of various plastic packaging products, from string to straw to plastic bags to manufacturing cologne, towels, serviettes, and all that. So we went on a diversification spree again. We went to acquire a plastic bag manufacturing factory in Gurun, Kedah. We also went into production of PVC food wrap, compounding, and some other things. But these ventures were slow, and being a listed company, we need to show some high growth and some profitability improvement. Thereafter, there was some consolidation in the industry when Sintex Group was merged with the GW Great Wall Group. It was a major event within the industry. So we were looking at, we were growing based on volume then. So we were thinking what to do. So we went to Europe, like what we did in 1995 before we went into the production of stretch film, when we need some high growth products to push for our listing. And we stumble upon the industry changing again. We stumble upon UMOS 40509, the European standards for safe logistics. We stumble upon Industry 4.0, which emphasize on mechanization and high speed and all that. And we decided that we should be moving towards that direction as well. So we set up from 2015 onwards, we went from the V for volume to V of value, the value proposition. So from 2016 onwards, we went to the manufacturing of nano stretch film with very premium, for high-end application, for high-speed machineries catering for Industry 4.0. We also went into blown film for food, stretch hood, and more premium products with European machines for blown film. We set up our Newton R&D center. We expanded into the European market where we saw the UMOS forthcoming for safe logistics, for Industry 4.0 high-speed requirements. In 2017, we celebrated our 75th anniversary. Wow, 1942 to 2017, that's 75 years. So during the celebration, our revenue for year ended 2016 was about 750 million ringgit. So we wanted to double that up to 1.5 billion in 7 years by 2024, which we believe that we will be able to achieve. We also started with the advance of e-commerce. We saw the prospect of courier bag, so we went into a joint venture to set up with a Hong Kong partner to set up a courier bag manufacturing company, which is we are glad to report that it's doing well as well. This is our board. The Duli Yang Teramat Mulia, the Raja Muda of Kedah, sits as the chairman of our board. So governance is a priority of His Highness. These are the 5 main pillars of our plastic packaging production: stretch film, garbage bags, commercial bags, film and sheet, PVC food wrap, and compounding, which I'll go into detail shortly. Coffee and tea beverages, these are our traditional products which we are still doing. Coffee and tea, our 888 brand is the Stableford. We've been making money, it's a cash cow of the company. The brand sells itself. We were making between 1.5 million to 3 million ringgit the past 20 years per year. So now we've increased that to about 4 to 5 million ringgit a year of profit. We also went into the manufacturing of organic noodles, primarily for the China market. Like I mentioned, we are the 10th largest producer of stretch film in the world. This is according to Applied Market Information, UK-based, very respected market research publications company. We were number 10 for their past two publications in 2010 and 2017, I think. Yeah. We were the specialists in the manufacturing of stretch film. You can see on the picture on the top is the machine wrap application, using machine to wrap your pallet, and also bottom is the hand wrap application. We are the master of both. We were the pioneer in the hand stretch film in 2005 with down gauging. I'll explain the concept of down gauging probably later if we have time. We were the first company to take this in to start this down gauging concept, whereby we reduce the standard gauge of standard thickness of stretch film, hand roll stretch film from 22 microns down to 12 microns. Thus, we have instead of having the same net weight, whereby you have 230 meters and you wrap about 4 pallets. Our film of 12 microns, we can have 400 meters and you wrap 8 pallets. For the price increase, for the price premium of 30%, you get 100% more yield. So this with same mechanical properties, and this goes very well with the Australians, the Europeans, and even locally as well now. So this concept has been around since 2005 with our Max Stretch brand, you can see here, which is still selling well at a premium. We also offer a wide range of for food this one. Also, I mentioned just now on UMOS 40509, the European standard, which is which has helped the nanofilm to do well in the European market. We went from 0 to 1,200 tons to the European market today. If you tell people that in the industry that you export to Europe, people probably don't want to laugh at you, because the duty, the import duty to go to Europe from Malaysia is about 6.5%. Some of the manufacturers, the margin is not even 6.5%, because stretch film is a very highly competitive product. In order for you to pay high tariff into Europe, you must be commanding some premium prices. Global demand growth for stretch film is projected to grow at 5% per annum through to 2025, and is projected to grow from 6.4 million tons, 5 million tons currently, to about 6.5 million tons a year. And in Asia Pacific, Middle East, and Africa is projected to grow higher at 7 to 8% due to the low consumption. The main consumers of this product are mainly in Europe, about 2 million tons, and in US, about 1.5 million tons a year. We will be commissioning our 6 nano-layer line in a new factory on the 16-acre piece of land in the third quarter of 2021 this year. This is what we mean by high-speed stretch film. This is running at about 60 to 65 revolutions a minute. This video is taken at one of our customers in Nilai. Conventional machine wrap stretch film runs at about 10 to 15 revolutions a minute. The reason I'll explain to you why we need to run at such high speed because of Industry 4.0. Garbage bags, we are the largest producer. We started to export to Japan in 1993. I came back in 1993, so long ago, and we were trying to we went into Japan. Was our first export market. We were approached by JETRO, the Japanese External Trade Organization, and they was asking us, are you interested to export to Japan? Because Japan in the 90s, they were helping our industry, helping Malaysia to beat the current account deficit and all that. So export was a priority back then for Malaysia. And we say, yes, we tried. The Japanese style, they came visit you 1, 2 times, 3 times, and nothing happened. We thought they were not interested anymore until we got our first order in 1993. And from that first container, we have become the largest exporter of garbage bags into the Japanese market, commanding about 12% of total market total garbage bags in Japan. We will continue to grow for this product at about 5 to 10% growth, organic growth through 2025. With the expansion plans at TGSH, which we acquired mentioned just now in our Gurun plant, we still can get some local makcik workers there. In the more rural area in Kedah, we've just acquired a 3.5 acres piece of land, which I'll show you later, in adjacent to the current factory for this expansion of this garbage bags production. And also we are planning a new factory in Myanmar, which will be elaborated later as well in the next few slides for the expansion of this garbage bags project. Commercial bags, film and sheet, serving the various industries in Malaysia. The product and the print, you can see printed up to 8 colors, making into different sizes, different bags, film and sheet styles. We acquired Shuangheng Plastic that I mentioned just now. It's called TGSH, with the capacity of recycling. So now all our in-house waste, some of them that we don't recycle at our plant, we send for them to the more dirtier printed stuff, recycle in Gurun. And we have changed them from a shopper bag company mainly to a garbage bags producing concern, half now. These products also focus on multi-layer flexible packaging, such as form, fill and seal pillow bags for flour, for sugar, for cooking oil. You can see here the film goes into the automatic packing machine, and it's packed. It will pack the sugar and all that. So your film has to be very consistent quality, because you cannot control the packing machine. The packing machine goes at the rate of about 60 to 100 packs per minute, and your film has to be consistent, or else it will be rejected. We have installed we will be installing our 4th blown film lines from Europe in the 3rd quarter of this year, in the new factory on the 16 acres of land, which I show you in the next slides. The new factory is designed with FSSC 22000 and BRC certifications for food safety in mind, and planned for the production of food, beverage, hygiene, medical products, and also electronics packaging. These are dust-free, dust-sensitive products, which command premium. I also mentioned just now, TGW commenced manufacturing of courier bags with a capacity of 300 tons in 2019. We started manufacturing these bags in January 2019 because these joint venture partners of us, they've got this plant in China. Trump basically came in and says that January 2019, there will be a 25% import duty from China to US. So they say they came in August of 2018 and told us that our plan is to start by January 2019. We thought, okay, you can start a plant in 3 months, but they managed to do it, which was amazing, unbelievable. And by January 2019, the plant started, but we were not running commercially. We were doing a lot of trials, and at that time, the tariff was delayed a bit to July 2019. So we started in January 2019, and by May 2019, we made our maiden profit. And from there on, we have not looked back. And every month we're making profit from this product. We doubled the production from 0 to 300 metric ton in 2019 to 600 metric ton last year per month. And this year we are doubling that again to 1,200 metric ton per month. This shows the high growth and the high demand of and the high what do you call that, growth in the e-commerce industry. Amazon alone grew about 45% year on year last year. Oops. These are some of the products. These are sugar bags, automatic packing sugar bags, which are produced. This is a stretch hood. This is at one of the local cement plant. This is a stretch hood which is manufactured under this product as well, which we are expanding as well. This is courier bags, some of the courier bags that we produce. This is with the bubble inside. Bubble fit, yeah. PVC food wrap was high growth for us from 2010 to more recently. Over the past, from 2011, the year where we started manufacturing, until the year 2020, we have 12 lines. We expand at a rate of about 1 line per year. These 12 lines is producing about 16,000 metric ton. We have plans to construct. We've been to construct a new plant besides adjacent to the existing plant to house 10 more lines. This product is very high growth because very low competition in the whole of ASEAN region with 700 million population. There's only 3 major producers, and we want to be the biggest in Asia Pacific. These products actually, sells a lot to the hospitality and the restaurants, F&B sector. So the MCO has affected us quite badly on this product. So we hope with the opening up of the world economy, we can grow again. Remember, we grow from 0 in 2011 to 12 lines within a period of 15, 16 years. Yeah. Compounding, this is basically when you take your Tesco bags and your shopper bag, you feel very chalky. So basically it's calcium carbonate. It's compounding of the resin. When resin price went up to sky high, oil price went up to $150. Remember back in 2007-08, we started this project. It is basically substituting the expensive resin with the cheap calcium carbonate powders, which you mine in near Ipoh in Simpang Pulai. After from KL, it is before Ipoh, on the right hand side of the road, of the highway. We also producing, moving up the value curve to produce master batches, color master batches, which you blend and you get your colored film, like your garbage bags. You basically blend black master batches and you get black plastic bags. Also produce anti-blocks, sleep. These are all processing aid, biodegradable additives, and all these are all additives that is used in the plastic industry. And it caters for internal as well as external use. Currently, we export to 10 over countries in Asia Pacific, and we are developing more value-added products for this. This is our main complex in Sungai Petani. We started from here in 1993. This is our garbage bag producing factory. Next to it is the stretch film. We've got, in 1997, we started with 4 lines here. All these 4 lines has been dismantled, and we've got 2 nano layer lines here. This is our pilot project for the nano layer in 2015, 2016. At the back of it, we've got 12 stretch film lines at the back here. And this is our blown film facility producing the sugar bags, the stretch hood, shrink film, and all that. Here is the our noodle manufacturing plant, 3 acres. Newton Research and Development Center is opposite the road. This is our courier bag factory, which we bought. It's a former plastic injection factory which went bankrupt, and we bought over, and now we converted it into the courier bag factory. The compounding factory is here, and this is the 16 acres piece of land which we bought in 2017, which we want to call our next billion ringgit project. This is what we call our next billion ringgit. This is our new, this is the 16 acres piece of land. This is the existing factory. The 5th nano layer line is already inside here running since last year. We plan to have about 6 to 7 nano layer lines here. And this factory has been completed. Now this factory is being completing now. The machineries are going in next month, and we hope to start commissioning this factory by June. We are a bit there's a bit of a delay during Chinese New Year and all that, so we're about 1 month behind time. And this factory will be for the food packaging, expansion for the lamination film, for the sugar bags, automatic packing machine films, the blown film facilities. The current pictures, this is the stretch film plant. This is the courier bag plant, and we've got just got approvals to build the food packaging plant here. This is going to be the warehouse and our new 5-story office building. We are really running out of office space. This is the food packaging factory. We plan to have 20 lines here. 20 lines with printing facilities, bag making facilities, warehousing, and the like. This is our food wrap plant. We started with 4 lines at the back here, and then add another 8 lines here. In the front is the front 3-story office and the warehousing of raw material and finished goods. And this 6 acres land, we want to put in another 10 more lines here. This is the tea factory, 8 acres of land. The factory is here. We've got a lot of space for further expansion for the tea products. This is in Gurun. We acquired this company with 8.5 acres of land for 8 million ringgit. Last year, this factory made 6 million ringgit for us. This piece of land, 3.5 acres, is for the expansion of the garbage bags projects. Moving forward, we are in more than 80 countries now, exporting to more than 80 countries with more than 80% of revenue consists of export sales. Food and beverage the cash cow of the company. We've been making money from this brand since 1942, for many years, and it continues to be the cash cow. For the growth, we move into organic noodle production for the China market. We also expanded into the Thai market with a blending facility, tea blending factory in Hajai in southern Thailand, and moving into the Thai market. Financial highlights: we have 150 million ringgit net cash, which is all your cash position minus all your borrowings. market capitalization is about 1 billion ringgit. PE about 12 to 13 times now. Total asset 1 billion. The rest of it you can look at it. Pretty strong balance sheet. The revenue and profit before tax, gross profit of the company. This is the chart, the graph that we look at very consistently, every quarter, every month even. This is the chart that we look at. It tells you your gross profit margin. Basically, the gross profit is our KPI. So we want to push this up to the high teens level. Now we are at about mid-teens. We grow from the low teens to the mid-teens, and we want to move up to the high teens, about 17–18% gross profit margin. Gross profit is where, if you look at, is where value adding, it will basically reflect your value adding capacity, meaning that gross profit is where is whether your what do you call that, your selling price, your margin is there or not. The selling price is high enough to get the margin that you want. Whereas if you look at your net profit, then the economies of scale and all that will kick in. So gross profit is number one. Then if you grow in terms of volume, then it will kick into your net profit level. So the idea is to push this up to the mid-teens, and that's the KPI. So you can see that we've been growing quite consistently the past 10 years. This is the what do you call that? The quarterly chart. You can see that normally the best quarter is during the third quarter. We're doing export, so year-end festive season normally it will pick up, and final quarter normally it goes down a bit and it pick up again. This is the record for the past 25 years. We have a combined revenue about 60 million and about 3 million profit, 3.7 million profit back in 1994. The year we were listed, we were 85 million ringgit revenue and 6 million profit. Since then, we grow to about 1 billion ringgit of revenue and about 80 million ringgit of profit after tax last year. So it's very easy to remember: 1 billion revenue, 100 million profit before tax, and 80 million profit after tax. You can see that the profitability hovers. In 20, you can see in 2008, this is when we suffered our first ever quarterly loss, when the oil price went from about $50 to $150. When the oil price dropped from $150 down to about $40 per barrel. Okay, our raw material price, resin, went down from $1,700 per metric ton down to about $600–700 per metric ton. The lowest we bought, remember, was about 500. We have 60 containers of stretch film going and arriving at the St. Petersburg port in Russia, and the customer just refused to take because the price dropped so much. So they say that if we take the cargo, then of course we've got a 10% deposit on the cargo, and we take but the price has already dropped more than 50%. So if we take the cargo, we'll go bankrupt. So we say, okay, so nothing much we can do. Also, the auditors came in, KPMG came in, and at the end of the year says that now your stock valuation is either at a cost. Your cost is so high, your net realizable value is as such. So these are the amount that we need to slash off your balance sheet. So we suffered our first ever quarterly loss in the fourth quarter of 2008. That we can remember, but for the whole year of 2008, we were still making about 4.6 million profit. Okay, We had never, for the past 25 years, never suffered a year of loss. This is the sales mix of the company. You can see from 2019, not much change. Stretch film should be growing to about 46%. Industrial bags is growing as well to 16%. We put in a lot of big blown film machines for the sugar bags and all that. Garbage bags is going down because it's mainly to the Japanese market. And Japan, we've grown to a size whereby growth can only grow about 5% a year. Food wrap last year was a very bad year. We suffered about 50% drop in terms of 40 to 50% drop in terms of revenue last year due to the MCO. The courier bags grown from 5 to 6% of revenue. Food and beverage remain about 7 to 8%. The rest of it. Key takeaways, you can read all about it. 10 stretch film lines. It is not easy to become the 10th largest producer of stretch film in the world, and also the largest producer of largest exporter of garbage bags to Japan. So when we do things, we go very, very deep. We understand the market and we go very, very deep into it. We also want to be the largest producer of PVC food wrap films. Moving forward, remember we started from zero. This is basically the innovative for sustainability. Anyway, like I mentioned just now, conventional handmade stretch film, hand stretch film is about 23 microns in thickness. The average thickness of your hair is about 20 microns. That's 0.02 of a millimeter. 500 mm is the width, and 209 meter in Malaysia. The standard roll is 209 meter, and it weighs about 2.06 kilogram net without the paper core. For our max stretch, we make it at about between 9 to 15 microns. So the standard now is about 12 microns. So instead of 209 meter, you have 400 meters for the same net weight, and you can wrap, instead of wrapping 4 pallets per row here, you can wrap 8 pallets per row for the 12 microns. And this costs 25 to 30% more in terms of price, and you get 100% more yield. So it's quite a no-brainer to shift over. So we pioneered this concept back in 2005, and it is still yielding us some premium for this product. These are our Nano 33 and Guardian, our labels, our brands. These are 33-layer nano layer stretch film. This gives the plywood effect to the stretch film. It is very, very strong, very good in terms of mechanical properties. And it's very suitable for high-speed machine. It don't break, and machine wrap applications. The next line that we're going to get is our most recent line is 55 layers. So the next line that's coming in is a 57 layers machine. So technology just improve and improve. This is one of the reasons why we are moving to this high-speed machinery. You look, this is a picture which I took in one of the supermarkets in Germany. You see the pallet sizes. They've moved from standard Euro size pallet, full pallet size that we see, wooden pallet, to half a pallet to quarter of a pallet. Why? Because everything is on the floor now. The Industry 4.0 concept, basically, nobody is going to stack your fast-moving soda, milk, juices, mineral water, beer, all that onto the shelf anymore. So this fast-moving is basically Every day they will replenish the stocks. Nobody is going to order the drinks, the beverage and all that. So when they reach, when you scan and you go out, and the data is sent, and it will trigger the reordering level. Once the ordering level it comes in, the pallet will be bring in through a pallet truck and put here, and it continues. So at Coke's plant, for example, Coca-Cola's plant, instead of having to wrap full pallet now, you have to manage half a pallet and quarter of a pallet, which means that for the same amount of bottles of Coca-Cola that comes out, you need to wrap 4 times faster, right? So to cater for this Industry 4.0 concept, everything is moving into high speed. The bottleneck is at the end of the packaging. So now they're moving to robotics packaging. So everything is handled by robotics, by robots, and the whole packaging, including the stacking of the Coke and all that, they're all done automatically by robots. And the wrapping itself, you also need to wrap 4 times faster, at least, because the pallet has shrunk from full pallet to quarter of a pallet, correct? So our nano layer film has thrived in this area in Europe. You need to measure. This is our proposed Myanmar project, our Myanmar factory. Why Myanmar? I know Myanmar, there's a lot of concern now with the military coup. But last week we just had a meeting with the developers of the industrial estate. We were very skeptical on what's developing in Myanmar, but they assured us that everything is going well. It's a Japanese managed industrial estate, and there are still people building factories. Everything is still going on. There's no sanction. The sanction is only on the military individuals, related companies and all that. So I think we are still moving ahead after a 1-year delay on this project. We were supposed to start construction of this project July of last year. So now it is almost July again, and we've not even, we're supposed to complete the factory by this year. We've not even started yet. So why Myanmar? Myanmar is one of the last frontiers in ASEAN. Free trade area. You can export back to, export the goods back to Malaysia duty free, but that's not our intention. Our motives of going there is basically mainly it's because of globalization has basically ended with Trump. Trump came in and increased tariff, a lot of protection going on. The world has moved to packs of countries. You've got your ASEAN pack, North America, NAFTA pack, your Gulf pack, your African nations, Antigua and all that pack. So the world is moving towards packs. So if we are not careful, we will see imposition of tariff, which made us very uncompetitive. Tariff as high as 30%, 50%, which is the reason why our joint venture partner has come to Malaysia, because they need to export to the US. For the same reason, this is one of the main reasons why we went to Myanmar, because Myanmar under WTO, being a underdeveloped nation, I think we still has got about at least 15-20 years there before people look at it and start to introduce tariff, the GSP, the General System of Preference, which Malaysia was enjoying, to all the developed countries like to Europe and to US. Now there's no more GSP for Malaysia. To Europe, we pay 6.5% import duty, and to US 4.9%. With this in mind, 80% of our sales is export. We need to diversify our risk, spread the risk a bit. The The second reason is tax. The Myanmar government is now giving a lot of incentive, encouraging foreign investment with the help of the Japanese, of course. Remember the Japanese, they've got a lot of debts that they didn't pay the Japanese. The Japanese just told them no need to pay. They're giving us 5 years tax waiver, and the next 7 years, 50% tax waiver. So this is very, very attractive. The third reason is because the plenty of labor, as you know, Malaysia, foreign labor is a major concern, whether it is a BN government or PH government or PN government or whatever next government that's coming in. The policy has been quite clear that we've got too many foreign workers in Malaysia, illegal as well as legal. So we need to reduce that. And automation was the word. Industry 4.0, of course, is very encouraged by the government at the moment. So having got that message, Myanmar is a good place for the more labor-intensive manufacturing environment. The monthly wages in Myanmar is now $80 per month. That was the level when we went to China back in 2000, the year 2000. China was about 400 ringgit as well. So now it's almost there, 350, 400 ringgit. So Myanmar is about 400 ringgit as well now. So we are paying our Bangladesh workers, foreign workers, about 2,000, including OT, 2,000 plus a month now. So the gap is huge. So if you say, okay, we pay our Myanmar workers overtimes and a lot of incentive and whatnot, we pay them even 1,000 ringgit in the next 2-3 years. Okay, 1,000 ringgit a month compared to 2,005. Say the gap, okay, roughly about 1,000 ringgit gap. If you've got 500 workers, 1,000 ringgit a month, it is 500,000 ringgit a month. A year is 6 million ringgit a year. So it's quite a no-brainer that, also the import duty that we are paying to Europe. So if we sell, say we shifted 800 tons of per month of the nanofilms that we sell, and we make it in Myanmar, that will save us about 5 million ringgit a year as well. So what are the products that we plan to manufacture in Myanmar? These are the 3 main products. This is for the Zone 1 is for the stretch film, nano stretch film to Europe and to US mainly because of the tariff. The second product is the T-shirt garbage bags, which you have to do manually. The garbage bags in Japan is individually folded. There's 3 folds to it. So you need to put in one by one piece quite manually. So a lot of manual work. And the third is these products command quite high premium because China is not doing it anymore. China doesn't want to do it. China has got no labor to do it. The small bags, the kitchen tidy bags, mainly to Japan, the third products. This is now done in places like Vietnam and all that, and it commands a very good premium as well. So all these products are premium products. Remember that we are focusing on value now instead of churning volume. Over the past 5 years, what had changed in our company? I emphasize again, we've changed our direction from volume building to value building based on technology and premium products base, meaning to increase our gross margin levels. We established the Newton R&D Center, which is becoming a synonym now. Activities conducted there for pallet stability, UMOS 40509 standard to meet European standard, okay, for shrink films, for stretch films, extensive testings, training for our staff, training for outsiders, standard setting. We set the standards, we measure and we set the standards, the benchmark for the products. It also provides a talent pool with a lot of new talent being recruited and later on trained and being dispersed to various other divisions within the group. Which is this is very important in our move towards the value proposition. We've installed 5 premium stretch film lines from 2016. The 5th line is currently at the 16 acres plant, which I showed you just now. These are able to generate 400 to 500 million ringgit of revenue a year. We also install 3 premium blown film lines. Our 4th line is coming in, generating about 60 to 70 million. Courier bags, I mentioned just now, about 80 to 100 million revenue. The next 5 years, what we're going to do, the 16 acres piece of land, which we call our next billion ringgit, 5 premium stretch film line is coming in with 2 lines coming in this year. One is coming in July and one is coming in end of the year. 2 more lines coming in next year and 1 more line in 2023. So 5 lines which has already been planned. That's coming in 400 to 500 million ringgit revenue again. Blown films, you saw just now we planned 20 lines, but 2 lines a year for the next 5 years, say 10 lines. This year alone, 2 lines are coming in and 1 line early next year. 200 to 250 million revenue. Courier bags, you can see just now the factory is already ready. 200 to 300 million revenue. Myanmar, which you saw just now, about 150 million revenue per year. And our PVC food wrap line, which we hope that with the end of the COVID, we can start to grow again for this business, which is catering for the F&B and hospitality market. With that, I thank you. I think I've exceeded the time by quite a bit. I'm sorry, Shane, back to you.
Yes, thank you so much. So, ladies and gentlemen, you have just heard from Mr. Alvin Ang, the Executive Director of one of the largest plastic packaging manufacturers in Asia Pacific, Thong Guan Industries Bhd. So, if you have any questions to ask Mr. Alvin Ang, please write your questions in the Q&A box, not the chat box, so we can easily address and manage your questions. Now, I'm sure some of you have typed your questions prior to Mr. Alvin Ang presenting it to you. So if you feel that your questions have been adequately addressed, you may delete or remove your questions so we can allocate more time for or the other more relevant questions. All right. So on my screen right now, we already have a very overwhelming questions for you, Mr. Alvin. So yeah, some of them are similar questions. So I think majority of people are concerned about the price of raising the gradual hike of the raising prices right now. So the question is mainly like how Thong Guan will sustain revenue if the price of raising always increase in the next few years, and are you able to transfer your cost to your customers?
This round actually the price of resin went down to about 800 level last year, around the middle of last year. Started going down because of the the supply and also the MCO, which caused oil price to go down to negative, and resin price went down to about 700, 800 levels. Then it started to spike up again due to the towards the probably 3rd quarter of last year, because of the hurricane in US, which wiped out about 10% of the total output of the cracker capacity. Cracker is where from the refinery you get your naphtha. Naphtha, you go into a cracker where you crack it, and it goes into a polymerization plant in a reactor to make polyethylene. So that it wiped out 10% of the total cracker capacity in US, which caused some shortage. Then it was recovering again. Prices was recovering in towards the early of this year. Then came Valentine's Day this year. 15th of February, there was a snowstorm in the Texas belt, whereby most of the US production of petrochemicals are, and it wiped out almost the entire US production of petrochemicals, which caused the sudden spike of price. We are happy to report that we managed to, due to the panic and all that, we managed to pass on the price increase to the customer. So there's no major concern at our end. Some of the old stocks and all that has helped us to, because it was like an immediate impact. So the customers was hesitating initially. So our advice was to them was, it's still going up. So our advice for you is to buy now, But my wish is for you not to buy, because if you come back in 2 weeks' time, I can sell you higher price. So there was no major difficulty in passing on the price increase more recently. Okay, so we are quite happy to report that the market has accepted the higher prices, and inflation is coming. So there's no major concern for us. The price hike. Yeah, you can see the profit of Lotte Chemical Titan increased to 400 million ringgit a quarter, the last quarter. So I think there was a big fat margin that the petrochemicals are making at the moment. So I think the price will stabilize again. Yeah.
Okay. I think just want to mention that in May this year, I think the raising price softened a bit, and then Justin would have follow-up questions like, usually in May it often softened around $150 per metric tons. So due to the pandemic in India and low demand from ASEAN country, so resulted in the raising producer panic sell. So would it improve your PVC cling film segment in Thong Guan?
Say again, I didn't get.
The question is, would it improve the PVC cling film segment in Thong Guan?
PVC cling film, we are impacted quite badly. Initially, it was because last year, before the MCO, it was the Japanese project. We've got 2 lines that came in. There was some delay in when Yeo Bin was the environment minister. There was a major concern on plastic, because they think that plastic is the dirty plastic that they bring in post China banning the importation of plastic waste, which was pushed all over the world, all over the other places, developing countries. A major part of it was Southeast Asia. And we had problem getting approvals for our new building to build the PVC food wrap plant. So we knocked down the warehouse and all that, and put in 2 more lines for the Japanese project in the existing plant. Okay. Then our Japanese joint venture went not so well. We got some problems on quality and all that with the Japanese when they sell the products to the US especially. And we got some returns and all that, which we have handled already. And this joint venture project did not go well, and then the MCO came. The Japanese came after Chinese New Year last year, and we came to a mutual agreement that we want to continue this project, even though it was not so successful initially. And then the MCO hit, and the F&B sector was down. And PVC has not been doing well since then, but we got high hopes for PVC food wrap to grow again. The price of PVC food wrap resin has gone up more recently, and we foresee that the prices will stabilize again once this hurricane and this snowstorm and all that is over. Yeah.
All right. The next questions is on some shareholders asking Mr. Alvin the question. So, is there any plan for Thong Guan Group to undergo internal reorganization as to spin off its food and beverages business segment into a separate listed entity? So, the person is a shareholder.
Sure. We want to spin it off because of the higher valuation for food and beverage. Normally, manufacturing sector will command PE of about 15, and food and beverage easily 20 over times PE. So we have got about 5 million ringgit of profit hiding under the teens PE. When we can command 20 times PE, why not? You know. We have plans. We want to grow the F&B section, probably acquire some companies, merge it up, and go for listing again. Yeah, for the F&B, so that we can have proper spin-off from the group. Yeah.
Okay, nice to hear that. You know, can unlock the
good suggestion.
Yeah, that's by Mr. Lim Kasha. Okay. Let me pick the next questions. This is asked by Mr. Lo Wei Tian. There is some rumor in Sungai Petani that you will venture into glove manufacturing. Is this true?
No.
So there's no okay.
We are not interested in glove. We believe that yes, you can make 6 months. You know, they were saying that you can get your return on investment within a year of operation. Some of them were saying 6 months of operation. We believe that, but we believe also that it is not. This is not going to be long term. There's too many new glove factory that is springing up all over the world, especially in China, Malaysia. There's more. You can see big groups even massing and all that going into gloves. So it's not in our glove is not in our radar.
Okay. So the follow-up question is: does container shortage impact your business?
Yes, we did. We were caught back in December last year when the price of containers just went up double. You know, so we were caught in December last year. You see, our results was hit a bit by the high freight costs. In January, we start to pass it on to the customers. It caused some delays because of the high cost, and some of the customers bought on FOB, so they were delaying shipment because you know, they believe that they can get cheaper freight costs. But now it is stabilized a bit, but it's still very high. The shipping company is profiteering from what happened. Some people in industry thinks that this condition will prolong. We are not sure, but we think that it will stabilize with market competition. Yeah.
Okay. The next question is asked by Mr. Chong. I think you recently joined as a director in TC Fast. So you would like to ask, like, is it a related business with Thong Guan?
No, it's just to help out some friends that asked me to join them. So it is nothing to do with Thong Guan.
Okay. All right. Let me pick the next question. So Sean would like to ask, like, what is Thong Guan's competitive advantage over other local players and also foreign players?
Local players, there's a lot of small players in the industry. Our prices, our consumption of resin, we are consuming about more than 13,000 tons of resin a month, which works up to about 160,000 tons of resin a year. So for the more uninitiated, the petrochemical plant in Kerteh, Petronas old petrochemical plant in Kerteh, I'm not talking about Pengerang, but in Kerteh, Terengganu, is producing about 200 to 220,000 tons a year. So we are consuming about 160,000 tons a year. So we're probably consuming about 70% of their production. So with that kind of volume, we command lower prices, probably between 20 to 50 US dollars per ton compared to the smaller, due to the bulk discount, due to the negotiating, what do you call that, bargaining power and all that. Okay. That's if you work out, okay, if you work out, say $20 per ton difference, 20 US dollars per ton difference, $20 is very minimal. Some of we are talking about $50 per ton times say 160 tons a year, works out to 3.2 million US dollars, which is 0.15 13 million ringgit a year difference. So we've got 13 million ringgit even before we start production. This is the sheer volume. The other competitive edge that we have our R&D center. We are doing a lot of R&D standardization, helping customers to save costs, to increase their safety standards, to we do a lot of calculations for them, calculate on their, we are the only producer in Asia Pacific that is doing to calculate the consumption per pallet of film consumption per pallet, and that translates to how many pallets per roll of film, which ultimately we promise them that we'll save you 30% in terms of film consumption, at least by our benchmark, and that translates to, of course, ringgit savings. We do a lot of extensive testings for different product application. If you wrap tissue paper and you wrap bricks, the requirement is very different. We've got the equipments in our R&D center to do that, to optimize the wrapping. All right, we don't overwrap and we don't underwrap. We optimize it according to European standards for them. Okay. Of course, there's a lot of other advantages. We are more than 60 years in the plastic industries. You can say that we manage by experience. The years of experience built up is just there's no value to it. Okay. For example, you see one thing before they tell you anything, you already know, what's the what the problem is, because you've seen that before already. So seen that before many times already anyway with other customers. That's the value of experience. Okay. Compared to overseas competitors, of course, the relatively lower costs in terms of electricity costs, even if you compare with producers in Philippines, our electricity cost is lower, our labor cost is lower compared to the developed countries. That's the very comparative advantage that we have. The environment, the operating conduciveness in Malaysia, the support from the government, support from industry players, suppliers, and all that. Credit that we got from the suppliers. If you want to buy resin today, you tell them that you want 30 days credit. They say you go buy from somewhere else. So whereas we are enjoying 60, 90 days credit, That is because of the history. That is so much advantageous compared to the newer players and all that. Yeah, which you want to buy if you produce a small SME will be producing about 300 tons a month. 300 tons times now resin price is about 5 ringgit 50 a kilo, 1.65 million ringgit, and you give 20. If you give 60 days credit to the customers, you need to stack up 3 million before even you start business. So we do not need that. The credit is from the suppliers. So that's a major difference.
Okay, thanks for sharing with us your competitive advantage. Terry would like to ask, like, may I know your total output for flexible packaging industrial bag following the installation of the fourth machine in the third quarter of 2021? Has the company secured customers for new capacity? And how much is the revenue to be generated from the upcoming new capacity?
Okay, industrial bags, we are growing very strongly. 3 machines, we are producing about close to 850 tons a month now. That consists of lamination film, probably half of it is lamination film. We're also doing the automatic packing machine film, the shrink film. Shrink film is where your 6-packs Coca-Cola, your 6-pack beer, your 24 packs you have saying drinks and all that, where you shrink it up. That's shrink film. Stretch hood mainly to the cement industry, the petrochemicals. The stretch hood, I show you just now. Those are the few main products that is produced at the industrial wrap, about 850 tons a month. So moving forward, this year we should be doing, by end of this year, we should be doing about, with 5 lines, we should be doing about 1,000 to 1,300 tons a month. One line is generating about 20 to 25 million revenue. Now high price is about 25 million revenue. So the 3 lines generating about 75 million ringgit revenue a year. So moving forward, we are planning 20 lines. That's quite sizable, and that 20 lines is able to generate about 500 million ringgit revenue. Yeah.
Okay. Now, Alvin, just now you mentioned about the potential spin-off of the F&B business. So the follow-up question is, what is the size that the management thinks is viable for separate listing, and how far are you from the target, and what is the estimated timeline?
We are very near. On the ACE market now, if you generate profit after tax of about 5 to 6 million ringgit, you're there. We are about 4.5, 5. So a bit of a push. We'll be there already. Yeah.
All right. The next questions. There are actually a few questions on ESG. So since that there have been a lot of ESG concern about reducing the plastic usage and going green. So so the question asked by Jiaxing is, what is your view on the business outlook, and will it affect the company's revenue in the near future?
No. I've been there's this for the plastic industry, there's this bad misrepresentation that's been painted, brainwashed the public. Every time I sit down with a group of friends that don't know me and I say I'm in the plastic industry, they look at me funny and or you're polluting the world. This nonsense Greenpeace is projecting that the turtle trapped in a mineral water, or a turtle trapped in a 6-pack, what do you call that, the handle, or eating a plastic bag or whatever. That's I can tell you that plastic is one of the most environmentally friendly resource that you can use in this world. Okay, why? Because if you analyze it correctly, If you analyze it, if you've got time, you give me 5 minutes, I explain to you. This is a public forum, okay? I mentioned just now that from the refinery, from the crude oil, you go into a refinery, you get all your fine products, your jet fuel at the top, your RON 95, your petrol and all that. And then at RON 80, which is naphtha, it's not powerful to power your car, okay? People in the 70s, 80s, 80s, people used to burn it off, from the refinery. It's a byproduct of the refinery. And of course, you get your kerosene, your diesel, and your fuel oil, the darker stuff, and of course your tar down there, okay, for the roads and all that. This naphtha which is about 4% of total byproducts of refinery. Now they use it. They transfer it into a cracker. It's very clear in color, this naphtha, which you cannot use for your car. Okay, nobody wants it. Which is burned off anyway. Previously, is cracked in a high steam cracker into a monomer again. This polymer into monomer again, and it goes into a polymerization process in a reactor to make polyethylene, polypropylene, polyvinyl chloride, blah blah blah, that we use as our raw material. So this byproduct, waste product, we use it, and we are just borrowing that drop of naphtha, okay, and there's no end to it because all plastic are recyclable. If you manage it properly, it is recyclable. Okay, your garbage bags, your t-shirt bags, your shopper bags, t-shirt, your Tesco bags, your whatever that is made from plastic, your injection molded casing for your computer, casing for your phone, and all that. It is all recyclable at the end of its life. Your mouse, all right, your mouse, plastic, you can recycle it at the end of its life. Crush it and you recycle it. Okay, all our in-house waste we recycle is money basically. All right. Okay, so then for those that is laminated and all that, you cannot economically recycle it. Then in Japan, because plastic has got a wet piece of plastic has got more energy than a dry piece of wood. Okay, in terms of kilojoule, if you measure it, when you burn it, okay. So because of it, it's got so high energy, people use it to compact all the laminated stuff that there's mixed plastic that you cannot use, and use as a replacement for coke in the furnaces. Your cement clinkers furnace, your steel furnaces, your incineration plant that use coke to continue burning because it's very high energy consumption. If you switch it off and switch it on again, so you need this coke to continue burning the furnaces. So it's used as this replacement. Okay. Why plastic is being blamed? Because plastic is very light. Okay. The density of polyethylene, for example, is 0.92 LDPE, LHDPE 0.946. Okay. Gram per centimeter cube. The density of water is 1 gram per centimeter cube. So plastic will float onto the water. All your heavier stuff like your stone and all that, construction debris and all that will go down. So, at the drain level, you will see the plastic clogging up the drain and causing flooding and all that. Then you point it to that, this is the culprit, when we see it. But at the bottom there, all the construction debris, that the main cause you don't see of the flooding in Kuala Lumpur, you don't see it. Okay, but you see the plastic, that's the culprit. Then it goes to the river, polluting the river, and goes to the ocean and create a big island of plastic in the ocean. So this, if you manage it properly, it is recyclable. So if you manage it properly, you don't litter it, you don't be a litter bug and throw it away, and you manage it properly and it's being recycled. How beautiful that was, correct? So we are borrowing that drop of naphtha and using it, recycling it continuously. Okay, for example, your shirt. Okay, you turn the back of your shirt that says 30% polyester. 80% of your mineral water bottles, this is PET, polyester. Basically, 80% of it because it's clear and it's clean. is used to, after it's the end of its life, is recycled and made into yarn and make into your polyester 30% inside your shirt. All right. When cotton price went sky high, crazily, they come up with dry fit to bluff you. You know dry fit shirt, your Adidas, Nike dry fit, the light shirt, very light. So you wear it and they charge a premium price for it. So what you're wearing plastic, basically.
All right.
How much more environmentally friendly can you get? Okay. But now they're talking a lot of garbage to me, Yobin and blah, 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 and if you're so clever, then you come up with a substitute for plastic. Plastic, everything is plastic now with your computer casing, because it makes your computer very light. Your seat on your aeroplane, on your ship, on your train, everything is plastic. The frame is now plastic. Okay, makes it very light, so you use less energy, less to run it. Okay, your bumper of your car used to be steel, so how heavy it was. Now it is all plastic. The fabric that is on your seat, they're all plastic, make it very light, so it consume less fuel. How much more environmentally friendly do you want to get?
Okay,
and we are just borrowing that drop of naphtha, remember?
Okay, yeah, thanks, Mr. Alvin, for a very enlightening answer to this environmental issue. So the next question is asked by Sherman. Can you talk more about your role in the operations and management of the company? And how does the Ang family interact and run the business? How is the team ensure that the politics family feuds are minimized? And also, would you also comment about the family's the business succession plan too?
Well, that's the toughest question.
Yeah, the fourth generation of the business.
Yes, we were kept together. Of course, there's some family issues, and every family has it, all right? But we were kept together by a common objective, basically. Our objective to grow the company, the objective to make money, to return to the shareholders, to the employees, the welfare of all the stakeholders within the company. So we do not like politics. Politics is completely out. So if you talk about politics, we will go. Especially myself, I'll walk away. I know that when there's politics that comes in, I'll just walk away. Because politics is basically not logical. We manage the company very logically, based on years of experience that we have. We can see from 1 mile away, from far away, what is going on, and the cohesiveness is basically by the common objective. It's like, for example, Liverpool football team. In order for you to win a football match, we work as a team. Every player needs to know their role. So the objective is to hit the Manchester United goalpost. Okay, make the goal. So everybody knows what to do, basically. So you don't go and kick your own goal, right? So the team has got to work this way. All right. So basically, the goal holds us all together. Yeah.
Okay. There are still 70 over questions on my screen right now, so apologies if we can't answer your questions. If we were to finish answer this question, all these questions, that will be until like 12 to 1 a.m. So let's do one last questions now. Just now, Mr. Alvin, just now you mentioned about the goal, the KPI of the company is to hit the high teens of the gross profit margin, right? Yeah. So the question is that, a quick question is that, would you be able to achieve that, let's say take it to above 18% in 2021?
We believe so, because if you can see from the graph, we are moving up the value chain. The product that we are selling now is commanding better margins. We are not based on volume anymore. In the past, volume we were relying a lot on volume, and when economies of scales kick in, then you naturally get your profit at the profit before tax level. So now we're looking at gross profit level. The economies of scale is not kicking yet, meaning that at expense level, if you're running a 1,000 ton factory or you're doing 500 ton factory a month, you're still using 1 GM, correct? So that GM salary is at the expense level. So if you manage to sell high price, that will be reflected in the gross profit level without looking at the net profit level yet. Okay.
Okay.
So that then the economies of scale will naturally kick in, as you grow, right? So you don't have to even look at that. So the primary things that the main KPI that we look at is the gross profit. Yes, of course, we believe that we will be able to achieve it. As you can see, the growth that we have now, we are on a right business model. Back in the 90s, the late 90s, when we went to stretch film, we hit the right business model with stretch film. So we just step on the accelerator and step very fast. We move from 0 to the largest producer of stretch film in Asia within 4 or 5 years. All right. So when we hit the right business model and it's hot, we just step on it. Now we have got the nano film, which is giving us the value, which we are already doing 5 lines, and we want to do 5 more lines in the next 5 years, 500 million there. The blown film, which we have hit 3 lines, which is doing very well. Just now to answer just now also whether we can sell the film that is going to produce. Yes, of course. The market is there basically. Locally, because of the consolidation in the industry, has given us the opportunity to move to the locally. Previously we were only focusing on export. Now the local scene has become very attractive because of the consolidation and the lamination scene, because with the Daibuchi Sintex merger, the whole group has become a competitor of the customers. So customers don't like it, and we are there to provide an alternative. So we are not worried that we cannot sell it. Now is the time to grow very, very fast, to step on the accelerator while it is hot. Okay. There we want to grow another 10 lines in the next 5-6 years. Another 200 million ringgit revenue of high premium products. The courier bags, the demand is outstripping the supply. With the e-commerce industry, we are only in the US market now. We are not even explored the local market yet at the moment because we've got no time. Okay. So the business model is right, and we need to step on it. The food wrap, once the pandemic is over, we want to continue to step on it. Remember food wrap, we went from 0 in 2011 to 12 lines. Yeah, it was the star of the company in the 2010s. Okay, we're doing very well there. Okay, from 0 in the sales mix to 8% of sales mix. Okay. So we are very confident that we are able to achieve the 2 billion, to double up from 1 billion last year, 970 million ringgit of revenue, to about 2 billion. And similarly, we believe that the stock price will double as well.
Right. Thank you so much, Mr. Alvin Ang, for sharing with us for doing this very insightful Q&A sessions with our audience today. So thank you so much for your precious time, for taking your precious evening to join us today sessions on live chat with Thong Guan Industries Bhd. So thanks so much for your time for this session.
Thank you very much, Shane, and thank you everybody. Thank you.
So before all of you go off, so let me tell you more about our next webinar. So just give me a minute. All right, so our next Can Trade webinars, the title is 2021 2021下半年马股展望. Okay, so it is as the title suggests, it will be conducted in Mandarin. So it's happening on the 3rd June 2021. It's Thursday, 8:30 to 9:45 p.m. So we have just given you the registration link in our YouTube live chat and also in the Zoom chat group. Please, if you are interested to learn what our speaker think about what is the Malaysian market outlook for the next half of the year, please register for this session. This will be conducted in Mandarin. So, but aside from this Mandarin session, we also have another 2 sessions scheduled in the month of June. What is happening on the 10th of June is we are inviting the Group Managing Director of D&O Green Technologies Bhd to come and share with us their company's background and as well as their growth plan going forward. So its title is Live Chat with D&O Green Technologies Bhd, Innovating Illumination. Okay, so this is a company that's in the LED space, and I think the share price have risen quite a fair bit over the last 1 year and 9 months or so. So I think if you are interested in D&O, please register for 10 June session. So we'll give you the registration link when it's ready. So on the 17th June, we'll talk about stock market outlook for second half of 2021. That will be conducted in English by Mr. Wee Kok Hua. All right, so these are the dates that you need to lock if you are interested to join our Can Trade webinars in the month of June. So for those of you who have not had a Kenanga share trading account, you may put in your interest in this online form, www.cantrade.com.my/open-account-form. I've also given you the account opening form link in the chat group and also in the YouTube live chat. So if you are keen to open an account with Kenanga Investment Bank, please put in your interest there, and Kenanga will arrange a friendly dealer representative to attend to your request. All right, with that, thanks everybody for taking your precious evening to join us in this live chat with Thong Guan Industries Bhd. So today, I hope that you have gained enormous value to learn from Mr. Alvin Ang about the company's background, the business performances, as well as the plan going forward. And Thong Guan is one of the companies which has been growing their top line and bottom line for the past 20 over years. So this is a company that is worth, in the watch list. So with that, thanks everybody for joining this session. So may you have a pleasant rest of the day. For our Muslim friends here, may we wish you a Selamat Hari Raya Aidilfitri. All right.
Selamat
Bye
Hari
everybody.
Raya.
Stay safe.
Our Muslim friends, thank you very much. See you guys. Bye-bye. Good night.
Bye everyone.